Hi, welcome back to the Power of Model Drawing. Today we are going to continue with our online lesson 2 on how do we draw out the problem. And of course, when you come to model drawing, always remember that you don't solve at the beginning. You always try to draw out the sentences first, and then you look at the model that you have drawn, and you use the model to write out your steps. So let's look at problem 1, and let's see how do we draw out the problem. Now, there were 5132 adults and children at the carnival. There were twice as many adults as children. So the word twice means there are 3 times, alright, and then the children, there's 1 time. So you have adults, right? You have 3 times of adults and 1 time of children. Alright, so let me just put it nicely. So 3 adults, or 3 times of adults and 1 time of children. There were 4 to 7 more boys than girls. So how many boys were there at the carnival? So when you draw the model, or before you start drawing, you have to think about whether to draw a comparison model or to draw a partial model. So I think I will use a comparison model because you see twice as many, you see the word more than. So all these are clues to tell you that you need to draw a comparison model. But what happens if you start with a partial model and then you find that you are stuck? Alright, it's okay because you can always reverse back. You can always go back and draw your comparison model again. So model drawing is never perfect. When you draw your model, you may need to make adjustment. Alright, so let's look at the first sentence and let's see how do we draw. Now, if the first sentence you don't know how to draw, then you jump. Alright, jump to the next sentence and you look at the next sentence. There were 3 times as many adults. So the adults has 3 boxes and the children has 1 box. Okay, that's how you draw the second sentence. So you have drawn until here. Now, there were 4 to 7 more boys than girls. Alright, now, what do you do with this sentence and how do you draw? Now, you see the word more than. So I can have another model, right? The second set of model. And I can have boys and girls. And there are more boys than girls. So I draw a comparison model. Alright? And there are 4 to 7 more boys than girls. Okay, so I put the 4 to 7, right? More boys than girls. And how many boys were there at the carnival? So I can put a question mark like this. And your problem, right? You have drawn out the whole problem already. Okay? Alright, so, or actually, have we drawn out the whole problem? No, not yet. Because remember the first sentence that we couldn't draw, we need to jump back. Okay, we have to jump back to the first sentence and draw out the whole sentence. So we forgot to put the number there, which is the total 5132. Alright, so you have 5132 adults and children. Okay, so once the model is done, right, you can see that there's no solving at all. It's all about drawing out the problem. And then, how do we do now? We look at the model and then we study the model. Can we do anything with the model? Yes, we can. You can see the adults have 3 boxes or 3 units and the children has 1 unit. So if you add all the units together, that will be 4 units, which is 5,132. So you have to find 1 unit. So model drawing is always to find 1 unit. So you take 5132 and then you divide by 4. And you have to do the working yourself. So 5132 divided by 4 and you will get 1,283. Alright, so once you know your 1 unit, then you can do a lot of things. You can find how many adults are there. You can find how many children. So there are 1,283 children. Alright, do I need to know how many adults? I actually don't have to know the adults. Why? Because I need to know the boys. So all I need to know is to know the children. So how many children are there altogether? Which is the boys and the girls. So there are 1,283 children altogether. Alright, now you look at the second model and are you able to work out any steps? Yes, I can. Now, I want to find the boys, which is the longer box. Right, in my lessons on model drawing, if you want to find the longer box, do you cut or stretch? Do you cut to make short units or do you stretch to make longer units? I will stretch. Okay, I will stretch to make longer units. So which means that I have a long rectangle, which is a 1 unit. I call it 1 long unit. I have another 1 long unit below after stretching. So after stretching, you have another 1 long unit. So when you stretch, now you have created 2 units, or you have made 2 units already. And the model has become bigger, so the total is no more the same. The total will become bigger. So bigger by how many? Bigger by 427. So when you stretch the rectangle, the model has become bigger. And of course, the total has also become bigger. Alright, so what is 2 unit? You take 1283 plus 427 and you will get 1710. And then you have your another, you have to find 1 unit again. So what is your 1 long unit? So your 1 long unit will be 1710 and then you divide by 2. And what do you get? And you will get 855. Right? And that is your how many boys there are. So the boys has 1 unit and your answer will be 855 boys. And you have solved the problem. So what's the objective of this lesson? The purpose of the lesson is to let you see that you don't need to solve the problem. You don't need to think very hard on how to solve. You just have to focus on drawing out the sentence, and then after drawing out the sentences, and then you can look at the model to see what steps you can come up with, right? So you can see that it's actually quite easy. Alright, now let's go to number 2. Okay, number 2, another example. Okay, let's read and highlight. Jackie, Ken, and Linda scored a total of 520 points in a game. Ken had 30 more points than Jackie. Now immediately I would want to start with comparison model. Means when you do your drawing, you always need to think about, do I draw a parcel model first or do I draw a comparison model first? So I think we need to draw a comparison model, right? So Linda had 3 times as many as the total number of points Ken and Jackie had. Alright, this looks confusing. But again, if you can draw out the sentence, everything becomes clear. So Linda had 3 boxes, and the total number that Ken and Jackie had is 1 time, or 1 box. So how many points did Ken have? Alright, now honestly I do not know how to solve. Okay, if you ask me what's the first step, I can't write out the first step for you. So what I will do is, we try to draw the model. So Jackie, Ken, Linda scored a total. So the first sentence we can't draw, then we jump. Every time you can't draw a sentence, you always jump. Right, jump to the next sentence, there will always be a sentence that you can draw. And whatever that you can't draw, remember to jump back to add on to your model. Alright, so Ken had 30 more than Jackie. So Ken, you draw a rectangle, Jackie will be shorter, and Jackie will be 30 more. So you draw until here already. Yep, okay. Now, Linda had 3 times as many as the total points of Ken and Jackie. 3 times as many. Alright, now you are going to put Ken and Jackie's rectangle together to show the total. So how are you going to put them together? Now, model drawing is also about creativity. Right, you cannot just look at your teacher's drawing and then memorize your teacher's drawing. And it doesn't really work that way because everybody draws differently. So you need to be creative. How are you going to adapt the model drawing to this sentence? Will it be like this? Alright, this is how Mr. Ong will draw the total number of Ken and Jackie. Right? So let's put these 2 persons together. But before that, I would like to cut. Ken has 1 unit and 30. Right? And then Jackie will have 1 unit. So now I'm going to put them together. Alright, and it will look something like this. So Ken and Jackie combine their rectangles together, and you will have something like this. Alright, Ken is the first part. Right, first part. So I'm going to put down 1 unit and 30. That belongs to Ken. And then the second part will belongs to, or the third part, the last box belongs to Jackie. So that's how you combine them together. Right, you can see it's actually quite easy. Right, so you join them together, and that will be the total number of points Ken and Jackie had. Alright, and then Linda had 3 times. Oh, stacking model, right? Linda had 3 times of this total number. So Linda, how do you draw 3 times? First of all, you need to draw 1 time. 1 time refers to both Ken and Jackie. So this is your 1 time. So the whole rectangle is 1 time. So Linda has 3 times. So you draw another 2 more rows. So you stack down, right? In our lesson on stacking model, you stack down and you cut another 2 more rows. So now you have 3 times. Linda has 3 times as many as Ken and Jackie. Alright, but also you need to make the model look all the same. So you just cut, right? Cut. And the first column, they are all units. The second column, 30s, all the 30s. And the last column are all the units. Okay, got it? Alright, and remember the first sentence that we couldn't draw, we need to jump back. Alright, jump back. So they scored a total of 520 points. Alright, and don't forget the last sentence, how many points they can have. So your question mark will be where? Will be to find how many they can have, which is over here. And your model is done. Alright, so it looks quite hard at first when you try to solve, but when you start to draw, it actually turns out to be quite easy. Okay, now what do? Now, look at the model, which is at the bottom. Don't look at everything because they are repeated. Alright, they are repeated person. You look at the model at the bottom, and what do? Now, there's a total, which is 120. So what do? You cut away all the numbers in the model, cut away all the 30, right? Cut away all this. Right, because the purpose of model drawing is to create uniques, is to make uniques out of the model. So you need to take away all the 30s and the whole model will become smaller already. And then how many uniques will you see in the model? You will see there are 8 uniques left in the model after you take out all the 30s. So thus, the model which has become smaller, alright, the model has become smaller, but is the total still the same after you take out all the 30s? No, the total has become smaller. Whatever you cut away from the model, the total will have to become smaller. Alright, so you take 520, cut away means minus. So minus all the 30s, that will be 30 times 4. Right, 30 times 4 is 120. Right, and now your new total is 400. So what's the next step? The next step will be quite simple. You find 1 unit. So 1 unit will be 400, and then you divide by 8. And your 1 unit is 50, right? And you can solve the problem already. So how many does Ken have? Ken has 1 unit and 30, right? So which is 50 plus 30, so Ken has 80, right? And there you go. And that's how you solve the problem using model drawing. So every problem has a special model or has a unique model. Not all models are the same for all problems. Every problem has its own unique model. So you need to be able to draw out the sentences. When you draw the model at the beginning, you will not know how it looks like. Even when I draw the model, I don't know the end product. Means I do not know what is the outcome of the model. How does the picture looks like? Only after you finish your drawing, then you realize that, oh, this is how it looks like. And then once you look at the completed model, you can see that things become very clear. Alright? Okay, so let's go on to the last problem. Okay, the last problem, and let's see how do we draw this last problem. Now, Ken and Grace make 318 paper cranes altogether. Ken and Siva make 832 cranes altogether. Siva made 4 times as many paper cranes as George. So how many paper cranes did Ken have, or did Ken make? Now again, in the exam, if you start to think about how to solve, if you are very good, okay, no problem. But if you are not so good in math, you start to think about how to solve, you are going to get into quite a lot of trouble because you find that you don't know how to solve, right? So what do? Let's draw out the first sentence again. But this time, we need to recall a lesson that Ms. Long has told you before, right? In 2019, there was a lesson that we talked about, which is model sharing. So if you look at this problem, there are 3 persons, and there is actually a repeated person, right? A repeated person. So we are going to do model sharing when there is a repeated person, right? Or something is repeated, we do model sharing. So you have Ken and George, which is the first sentence. So I put them together and I draw a rectangle, right? Something similar to what you did just now in the earlier problem, right? How you put the 2 persons together. And so after you draw the first sentence, right? And by the way, this rectangle you have to cut into 2 parts. The first part belongs to Ken, second part belongs to George. And the total is 318. And that is your first sentence. Alright, now how about the second sentence? Ken and Siva make 852 paper cranes altogether. So you need to draw a longer rectangle because 852 is bigger than 318. So you have drawn the second sentence, and let's go on to the next one. Siva make 4 times. So where is Siva? Alright, so Siva is the second box, right, on the right side. Where is Ken? Ken is the first box on the left side. Siva is on the right side, Ken is on the left side. Where is George? George is on the right side, right, and Ken is the same, alright, the box on the left. So you can see the boxes on the left, they are all identical. So why are they identical? Because they refer to the same person. Like these boxes on the left, they are identical because they refer to Ken. Alright, so Siva made 4 times. So do I want to cut Siva's rectangle into 4 boxes? It's going to be a bit hard because you will need to adjust George's rectangle also. because if you count the 4 boxes, you can see that George has one time, okay, one time, and you look at George's rectangle is quite long, so we don't want to erase. So what do? We can just put 4 units, and then George will be 1 units. So you don't have to cut, or you don't have to erase and redraw again, right? So you can put the 4 units into the box. Okay, how many paper cranes they can make? So that is your question mark, and your model is done. Right, so that's how your model looks like. So let's look at the model and what do? Now, when you draw a comparison model, you always think about the difference. Right, comparison model means you are comparing. And how do you compare? You compare by looking at the difference as well. How much more? Alright, so how much more is the longer rectangle than the shorter rectangle? So you can see that 852 minus 318, that will give you how many more? And you will get 534 more. So whatever numbers you have found, you put inside. Right, put inside your model. And then what's the next step? The next step is to compare the units. Earlier on, to compare the whole numbers. Right, you see how many more. Then now you compare the units and you see how many more. So you take 4 units and you minus 1 unit and you get 3 units more. So which means that your 3 unit is the same as 534. Because they are the same difference, right? So you can write down 3 units is equal to 534. And the next step, you just find 1 unit. So every time you draw a model, it's always about to find 1 unit. So you look at 1 unit, there will be 534, and then you divide by 3. And you do your working, and you will get 178, which is your 1 unit. Alright? And we can solve the problem. So once you get your 1 unit, you are like Superman, Wonder Woman, Iron Man, you can do whatever you want now. So you can solve the problem by finding the question mark. So you look at the model, which is 1 unit. So how many is 1 unit? Which is 178. So can you find the question mark? Yes, you can. You take the total, which is 318, right? 318 minus 178. And you will get the question mark. So what's the answer? 318 minus 178, and you get 140. So can has how many, or can make how many? Can make 140 paper cranes. Then how about the bottom rectangle? How about the question mark at the bottom? You will still get the same number, right? Why? Because you find 4 units, you take 178 times 4, and then you take the total, which is 852, and you minus the answer, you will still get 140, because the 2 boxes refer to the same person. Alright, so that is how you draw out the problem. Alright, so you can see that it's not really very hard. Alright, there will be some problems that will be hard to draw, but as long as you continue to focus on drawing out the sentences one by one, you will become more and more skillful, become better and better, and then when you come to upper primary, you find that all the problems are actually quite easy. Right? Because you know how to draw the problem. No matter what problems are given to you, you may not know how to solve, but all you know is you know how to draw. So when you can draw, you can solve. So I will see you on the next Thursday at 8 p.m. So once again, do try to attempt the worksheets, right? Do the problems before you watch the online lessons, right? That will benefit you, right? Otherwise, you'll find that you're just watching without any practice. So you should try to attempt the problem first before you come online to watch. Right, so I see you on next Thursday at 8 p.m.